there's a player whose season deserves a documentary, it's Kylian Mbappé. He arrived at Real Madrid in a blockbuster move, carrying the weight of expectations. At first, his teammates rallied around him. Then came the explosive form. Mbappé was scoring decisive goals, one after another. For a moment, he led the race for the Ballon d'Or. But within just a few weeks, Real Madrid are on the verge of losing La Liga. Champions League hopes are all but gone. And Mbappé is left in the middle, surrounded by doubts, whispers, and criticism. Just a few weeks ago, Mbappé was having a solid debut season with Real Madrid. He was one of the club's most important players, competing on all three fronts: La Liga, Copa del Rey, and Champions League. Many pundits considered him a top contender for the 2025 Ballon d'Or, especially with Madrid still alive in every competition. But within a month, the entire narrative flipped. In the Champions League, Real Madrid were humbled by Arsenal in the quarterfinals, a crushing 5-1 defeat on aggregate. Mbappé failed to make an impact, didn't score, and limped off injured after just 75 minutes in the second leg at the Bernabeu. In La Liga, he picked up a red card in their most recent win, further damaging his personal image. Meanwhile, the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona is fast approaching. And given Real's poor record against Barca this season, that title is anything but guaranteed. If Real Madrid can't turn things around, Mbappé risks ending his first season in Spain without a single trophy. Since joining Real, Mbappé had quickly established himself as a key figure in Carlo Ancelotti's system. He scored consistently, linked up well with Bellingham and Vinicius, and kept Madrid in contention at the top of the table for most of the season. Statistically, his individual performance remained strong, comparable to his PSG days, a clear sign of his seamless transition into one of the world's most demanding football environments. But starting from late March into early April, things took a turn for the worse. Against Arsenal, Mbappé was unusually quiet across both legs. He was tightly marked by Jacob Kiwior, struggled to find space, and couldn't influence the game in the final third. Madrid lost 0-3 in London and fell 1-2 at home. While the entire team underperformed, it was Mbappé's lack of impact that drew the most attention from Spanish media. In La Liga, during the clash against Alaves, he was shown a straight red card after a reckless challenge on Antonio Blanco. Initially booked with a yellow, the decision was upgraded to red after a VAR review, a dangerous tackle with studs up that didn't touch the ball and posed serious injury risk. Though Blanco continued playing, the foul sparked outrage from pundits and former players alike. Even though Madrid won that match, the tackle came at the worst possible time, when Mbappé was expected to lead the team through season-defining games. In recent matches, his form has clearly dipped. He's now on a 5-game goal drought, his longest of the season. Despite staying active and getting into dangerous positions, his finishing has lost its edge. For a team like Real Madrid, which leans heavily on star power up front, this kind of drop-off is costly. And when your marquee signing, your supposed leader, struggles in the business end of the season, the whole team feels it. Real Madrid are still alive on two fronts, La Liga and the Copa del Rey, but their hopes of silverware are hanging by a thread. In La Liga, they remain in the title race, but a 4-point gap behind Barcelona, combined with a tough run of fixtures, means there's little room for error. Mbappé's recent red card against Alaves has added to the pressure. He'll miss the match against Athletic Bilbao due to suspension and could return just in time for El Clasico in the Copa del Rey. That is, if he recovers from the injury he picked up against Arsenal. Missing a game-changing player like Mbappé will no doubt impact Real Madrid's attacking options. Carlo Ancelotti finds himself short of natural strikers. Once again, he may be forced to use Vinicius Jr. or Rodrigo as a false nine, a tactical solution that has seen limited success so far. Young Endrick, though promising, isn't ready for that level of responsibility in this decisive stretch. The Copa del Rey final against Barcelona looms large, but it won't be easy. Real Madrid have already suffered 2 heavy defeats to Barca this season, 0-4 in La Liga and 2-5 in the Super Copa final. On paper, this is their clearest shot at a trophy. But the mood in the camp is uncertain. Key players are underperforming, and tensions have reportedly risen following their exit from the Champions League. From a team chasing trophies on all fronts, Real Madrid now face the very real threat of ending the season empty-handed, unless something changes fast. And at the center of it all is Mbappé, whose dip in form and confidence has cast a shadow over his debut season in Spain. Just a month ago, Mbappé was considered one of the frontrunners for the 2025 Ballon d'Or. He was scoring regularly in both La Liga and the Champions League, adjusting well to life in Madrid, and had the narrative on his side, leaving France for the first time to join one of football's most iconic clubs. Experts agreed, if Real Madrid could win just one major trophy, Mbappé would have a strong case for football's highest individual honor. But the past few weeks have changed everything. He's now gone 5 games without a goal, his longest drought this season. He failed to make an impact in either leg of the quarterfinal against Arsenal, and the controversial red card in La Liga has raised even more questions about his discipline and mindset. Real Madrid are out of the Champions League, and if they fall short in La Liga or the Copa del Rey, Mbappé's Ballon d'Or hopes could vanish, despite solid overall stats. Meanwhile, other names are rising to the occasion. Barcelona's dynamic duo, Rafinha and 16-year-old Lamine Yamal, have been game changers, helping the team leapfrog Real in La Liga and reach the Copa del Rey final. If Barca win the Champions League and either of those two keep up their form, they could crash the Ballon d'Or party. Elsewhere, Harry Kane has been consistent for Bayern, and Ousmane Dembélé, should PSG reach the final, may also force his way into the conversation. One detail makes Mbappé's situation even more uncomfortable. Paris Saint-Germain are thriving without him. Under Luis Enrique, PSG look more balanced, more cohesive, and more dangerous. They've reached the Champions League semi-finals and are pushing for more. The comparison is brutal. Mbappé struggling under pressure in Madrid, while his old club is soaring without him. These narrative shifts do matter to Ballon d'Or voters. They shape perception, and perception shapes legacy. That said, Mbappé's season isn't over yet. Everything could still change quickly. The Copa del Rey final against Barcelona is coming up. Then there's the home stretch of La Liga, possibly including a decisive El Clasico in early May. If Real Madrid can win a trophy and Mbappé plays a starring role, he could flip the script entirely. But time is running out. He needs to explode, now. One spectacular performance could reignite the Ballon d'Or conversation. One more disappointment, and the window may close for good. There are just a few weeks left in the season, but for Kylian Mbappé and Real Madrid, every match from here on out is a final.